Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Welcome, everyone. Oh, my gosh. We're going to have an awesome show today. Thank you for joining us. I have Miss Yasmin in the audience. Hey, Yasmin.
Hi. How are you, Tonya?
Very good. And we're going to hear from her in just a minute. I wanted to say hello to everybody. You know, every time we have an amazing show, and of course, every one of my guests gives you so many amazing things for free, and Yasmin is exactly that type of person, too. She told me what she's going to give. I'm like, oh my gosh. So y'all want to hang around to the end of the show so that you can take advantage of it. And I even have a special offer for you today. So make sure you stick around. Now, today is such an exciting show because it's going to literally change your life. And what I found from most people is they're like, Tonya, what about business? How to make money? How to do this? How to do that? But when it comes really down to it, it's about you, right? I had to change me before I could do really anything in my life. I had to move myself out of the negativity and the victim mentality that I was stuck in for so long. And I totally get it because, you know, oh my gosh, horrible things had happened to me, you know? So I get why I was there, but I was there for way too long. And I want to encourage each one of you, today is the day you start changing. Today is the day you start breaking through and you start being who you want to be. And I know I've told y'all this quote before, but I'm going to tell you again in case you didn't hear it. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So from this moment on, who do you want to create? Because you can create anybody that you want to create. You just have to do it. That's how I've done everything that I have done. If you had told me even, 5 years ago that I would be speaking, I'd be like, what? There is no way. Because I'd be shaking in front of the room, in front of 5 lovely people. So if I can get over things, I know you can too. You just have to make yourself. You got to encourage yourself. And then you got to put yourself around fabulous people like Yasmin and all these other fabulous people to encourage you and say, yes, you can. And have me go, yes, you can. And why aren't you doing it? Let's get moving, And I really love that. And to me, it's so fun. It's so exciting to see other people succeed. Do you feel that way, Yasmin? I mean,
of course I do. That is the best thing you have ever said, because that's the key, It's the key that you have the power to do whatever you want to do. And sometimes we give away this power to other people, to circumstances, and that's when we get stuck. But if you take this power in your hand and know that you can do it, you can create your own destiny, you can create whatever you want to create, whether it's love, whether it's success, whether it's money, whatever you want to create, you can create. This is how you are created, to create things.
I love it. And, for me too, when I meet somebody that's real competitive and just kind of mean and, out to hurt people, I'm like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. But then I realized that they're probably coming from a place of hurt and a place of, self-esteem is very low. I think people that feel like they have to be number one and nobody else can has a self-esteem issue.
Yeah, it's a lack of love. Like sometimes you don't love it yourself enough and you don't love others enough. So it's when you love people and you love who you are and you love the whole world, the world will be a better place because now you are radiating love. So there is no room for competition. Like there is a competition when it's not a competition, but when you see someone who's successful, you can say, okay, and this is admiration, which is totally different than competition or than envy or any other thing. So you can admire how people are succeeding and you can learn from them and you can actually create your own formula. You don't need to follow anyone. So it's like, when you don't find this love on the outside as well, search about it inside you. Like, where is it inside me, and why I cannot share it, and start by sharing it. It's freaking, you know, Tonya. That's what happens, because people are afraid to share love because they would be vulnerable. So that's when they become very protective and putting people at a distance. And there would be no harm if you believe that the world is not a place to be harmed in. Like, people are friendly and the world is friendly. And if you meet an obstacle in your life, it doesn't mean that it's the end of life. It just means you need either to check your goal, this is where you want to go, or check the way, like how you want to go there. And it's a small alteration that can help you continue and succeed.
I know. I remember that point where, you know, I was like, I have to get over the fear of walking up to men. You know, I had been incredibly hurt and didn't know really great guys growing up. And so I had built that beautiful wall around me to keep myself safe. And I totally understand why I did that. But then I'm like, I'm missing out on some really amazing people that I could get to know. And when I opened myself up and, you know, let them into my life, oh my gosh, my world just exploded with fabulous people that I got to meet and that helped me, you know, and there are good people out there. So
Yeah.
I love that. Now tell me about you and how you changed your world and what's going on with you.
Well, it's a long story that I would like to keep it short, so help me keep it short. Okay. So let's go easily. So the first thing, I was in corporate world. So I was working in an organization, working in a middle management position, but then I got divorced and I didn't see it coming. Like, I was as every person who thinks that they will live happily ever after.
Oh, wait, what is this?
Wow, yeah, and what did I do and stuff like that. And it was very critical for me. So it seems like I didn't allow myself to fail. I don't allow myself to fail in a way. So for this was a failure for me. I had my son, he was 3 years old. And what kept me busy is how would I like raise him? Like, would I tell him, well, all men are this and this and that? Or would I tell him, yeah, go and fall in love again and then you're going to be hurt, or what's going to happen? And you know, I'm from Egypt, so I'm from a different background. And in Egypt, divorce like 14 years ago was a taboo. And it still is in a way, but there was not that much of, or many of women who can get divorced. And there's a lot of judgment around who you are and what you can do or cannot do and stuff like that. So it was pretty much a challenge. But then this challenge allowed me to think, like, if I have this big challenge, it means that there is a bigger mission. Like, you know, as big as the challenge, as big as the transformation. So the question was, what do I do with that? And it came up like there were messages coming one by one into my life that like led me into coaching. Oh. And this was like fabulous because I learned that people can come and talk to me. They like to do that. They feel secure and safe that they can share with me, and they are strangers. And this was back in 2005. In Egypt, there was nobody talking about this. So when I started this, they were looking at me and saying, oh, why? How come? Why would I come to you? And stuff like that. But this, it was a challenge, but then it was something nice because as much as it was something new, a lot of people wanted to know about it. So it came from here. And now it's very popular and people are starting to join and be coaches. And I help coaches, I help singles, you know, because that's the passion that I have. And I help couples as well. So I'm like passionate in both, but for singles, because there's a lot, as you're saying, of self-esteem issues and thoughts and beliefs about how life should be and shouldn't, and the victimized position. I love empowering them. So I love doing that. And I take myself into this as well. So the challenge with coaching is that you have to be who you are, like what you are saying, you have to follow what you're saying. So when you're saying like, I learned to talk to men like openly, or to come up to men like bravely and stuff, that's what I am doing through my life, and I'm still learning my lessons, so it did not end yet, but that's the challenge. And whenever you're faced with this challenge in this area, the question is, what do you want in life? It's easy to go backward to your cave and start doing what you have done before.
Yeah.
Either that you're building this wall around you, or that you are protective, or that you are not allowing people, or that you're losing all your beliefs and faith that you can create what you want. Or you have the other choice, be the change you want to be. If I want to simplify again love and relationships and marriage and stuff, because they got so complicated from all this scarcity and traumas and every other thing. I want to simplify that. I want to help people feel that it's okay to be who you are, whatever you are, and it's okay to develop from there, and you will find the love that you really crave by being who you are, by being authentic.
You're right. And if I find a lot of people, and you could always feel it and you could see it when they're trying to be someone that they're not. You know, that they're like, oh, I like this person, the way they're doing everything, even though I don't really, I don't draw to them. I just want to be that. And it's usually, you know, it's because you can't look at yourself and go, oh my gosh, my qualities are amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I always love doing little activities with people where I get them to tell me how fabulous they are. And
Yes.
people really squirm on that. Because they don't think about themselves, you know, as much as they really need to. You know, don't you have that?
Yeah, well, because the way we were raised like has judgments in it, and there was a style of parenting that says that if you point out to the flaws, then your kids are going to develop, and this happens in management as well, and lots of disciplines. And if you keep focusing on whatever is not working, nothing will happen except that it's going to be not working more and more. So now, but people understood the law of attraction, and it's not about like bluffing or about like deceiving yourself. It's about shifting your energy from only seeing the negative into either seeing the positive, or either seeing the positive and the negative, which is the neutral situation.
Yeah.
So lots of people can tell you, oh, I am not good at that, and I am doing that, and label like the self-labels that are all criticism and are all about failures and what they cannot do and what they have failed in before and stuff like that. But if you tell them, okay, what if you are magnificent? How about that? Tell me about how magnificent you are. Tell me about your accomplishment. And they tend as well to diminish their accomplishment or to give credit to somebody else. Like circumstances, friends, whatever, coincidence, any other thing, instead of giving credit to themselves. And
exactly.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of things. So it's a mixture of how we are raised. It's a mixture of our fear to see our greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the major part. Why don't you want to feel that you are a good person and you are so great?
Yeah, and you know, and even within my own family, you know, women were, you know, the housekeepers. You know, they all stayed home and they were miserable. You know, and I was like, that's not the life I want. And even my father had told me, you know, oh, you know, what do? I just graduated from high school, and he's like, you're a girl, just go get married, have someone support you, have babies. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound much fun. And I knew that I wanted to do things, but the fear was so overwhelming. And then I realized that I have kind of a gift to encourage people. And so I started first by encouraging others, but then I realized I couldn't move forward until I started encouraging myself. Yes. And that was really hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like sometimes it's, you know, Tonya, it's easier to come from the outside than to come from the inside. When you have someone on the outside and they can point out to your strengths or what you're doing, it's supportive, and we tend to listen more to other people than to listening to our own selves. But like one of the ways that you would like learn to love yourself is to listen to yourself. And it will take some time, like just listen first. And I'd like to advise people to write, because when it all goes into your head, it gets distracting and it gets too tough. Like it's as if you're taking another person in your head who's talking all the time. So if you put things in writing, a lot of the pressure in your head is going to go away. So start writing about yourself. Start writing about how incredible you are. Start writing about things that you have faced as challenges and you thought you can never overcome it, and then you did it. Okay. Yeah. So awareness is a key. Awareness of who I really am through my own successes. Okay, this is a great skill that people need to think of. And when you start focusing on what you are good at, what you like, what you enjoy, what your friends come and say, like give you as a compliment, or tell you, like, we always come to you and we talk to you because you are doing this and this to us. Okay, so by understanding this, if you don't find it inside yourself, go and ask people who you trust. Who trust that they can support, and they are not going to criticize you. And if they do, which is because they don't know otherwise, just ask them, what else? What on the positive side? What can be good? What is an asset that differentiates me than other people? Exactly. Or makes me like other people even.
Exactly. And I, all the people that come for my clients, or even people that join the Public Speakers Association, a lot of people that are just getting started into speaking, their question is, but what do I speak about? What do people want to hear? I'm like, well, what are you good at? Yeah. And they have a hard time with that, because to them, it's just like second nature. But to me, I can't imagine, a lady been a secretary for 30 years. She goes, well, what can I teach people? I don't know anything. I'm like, you're kidding. Customer service, customer relations, even filing. I don't even know how to file right, And she's like, you're kidding.
Well, it's true. Like, even for me, like for all these years, because as you said, when you know something, or you are an expert in a topic, or you have talked about it with lots of people, it seems so familiar for you that you would question, like, oh, it can be boring, or it can be old, and every time I share some information, I find people saying, wow, we didn't know that. Like, okay, I better keep this in my mind. Because it never goes. Like, if people sometimes think, like, because we are doing businesses and stuff, they might think, okay, you don't have these stuff. No, we have them. We have our ups and downs. I have my ups and downs. I have my ups and downs even in relationships, and it's, again, from this downs that you would decide whether you come up again or you stay down. And that there is a learning inside. There is some part of you that is growing and that's expanding, and that's what you allow yourself to do.
Love it. Love it. Do you find that with for men and women, do you find there's different challenges for each?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there is a big challenge of understanding, and people think, okay, that's how men are wired, and that's how men are wired, so I need to understand about men, I need to understand about women. And then they start to adapt who they are with respect to this, and this can be so hard. So I would tell people, like, if you want a tip, concentrate on yourself, like focus on yourself. What you need to understand is yourself. You might go and read about men and women, but whether you are a man or a woman, just concentrate on what you're reading and learning about, if this relates to you or does not. And we are not born with our manuals. So our quest in life to create a manual. So if I think this way or feel this way, if I understand how I do this, I would help the man to understand me so I can communicate. So all what you need to do is understand yourself and learn how to communicate.
Right. And I always find if, I don't understand what someone is saying, or if they don't understand what I'm saying, just tell them, what do you mean? Or, you look like you don't understand what I'm saying, have some communication overflow, it's okay to ask people if you don't understand,
Yeah. And it's okay to accept that they might not answer, because you might do this one way and you find no answer from the other party. So sometimes it tells you something, whether they're not ready to share or they don't know the answer, so they are still processing, but there is no, like the sand watch, you know, so you're not seeing anything, but there is a processing going on, or that they might not be your partner, you know.
Oh yeah,
options are there.
I always tell people I hire my clients, and I mean that, you know, because if I can't communicate with them, they can't communicate with me. If there's a disconnect, that means I really can't help them, right? So I'd rather them go and I send them to someone else fabulous that they can communicate well than trying to force it to happen.
Yeah, it's the matching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the match. And not being a match doesn't mean anything. It just means we are not a match.
Yes.
And that's it. Nobody's good, nobody's bad.
Right. I find that for relationships, for marriages too, they're trying to force something to happen when the reality is that it's just maybe not supposed to happen, right?
Yeah, we get attached so much to the story sometimes, to the future that didn't happen, you know. And it's not easy. Like, it's whatever we're saying is easy to say, but it's not easy in application. That's when you need to grow, because if it is happening, you might think, okay, so why am I attached to this outcome, and why do I think that life is going to stop in this direction, and did it ever stop before? You know, you might need to help yourself out instead of the other way around. It's like, wow, it was nice and it was cute and it was the best thing ever and I had these dreams. And it's all here. It's all the way you think. So either you think in a way that helps you, and that's what we say when you say be the change you want to see in the world, okay? Or your own thinking is about hindering you or stopping you or keeping you stranded where you are.
I know, you know, even for myself, you know, I had it all planned what my life would look like, and my life was not going to have really a man in it. I mean, I didn't know good men, so to me, it didn't even make sense to get married. And of course, I find my husband, and we've been married for 24 years, but that wasn't in my plan, you know? So sometimes we're so focused on the outcome, like you were saying, that we miss opportunities. And I see that in a lot of people. So you got to open yourself up that, that brick road may not be the actual road you need to be on. It may be the one that goes over to the waterfall, or, you know,
yes.
I don't know what happens.
and this is the difference between building a relationship and going in a relationship for an end, you know, like dealing with the relationship as a task or building the relationship. So you might fall in love with 100 people. It's okay, but you might as well not break the relationships as much as you can. If they choose otherwise, it's okay. But you can still have friends. You can still have people, even acquaintances. They might not be as close, but they don't need to be enemies. They don't need to be people whomever you think of, you feel pain or trauma and something like that. And you never know where your partner is going to show up from. Like, it can be a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of an ex-lover at a time. You never know how things happen. So just enjoy and build the relationship, because in this interaction, that's how you grow as well. And in all the conflicts that happens, that's how you grow, because a conflict tells you that there is something is not okay. Not with the other person, with yourself. Like, there's some sort of a value or some sort of a requirement that's not met, or it's an expectation, or it's an attachment. So whatever is happening, like, welcome the challenges, welcome the feeling, feel the feeling. It's okay, let's cry and let's feel heartbroken and stuff like that. It's okay. We're not going to die, you know? We're not going to die. Yeah.
I love that. Now, I know you're giving everyone a really big offer today, and I'm so super excited about that. So y'all ready? Get your pens and paper all ready. Okay. So tell us what you're giving away today.
Well, because my passion is relationships and my program is called Create the Love Life You Crave, I believe that everyone can create the love life they crave. So what I am giving people is a 45 minutes personal call with me, personal coaching call with me over Skype or over Viber or over whatever method, or over phone that they can get, where we can find what are the challenges that are keeping you from really, really, really creating the love life that you crave. And that's what I'm giving. Would you like to have a link?
Yes.
Okay, so the link would be tiny URL. Do you want me to write it, or would we write it afterwards, or what can we do? Like,
No, go ahead and just spell it out for them.
okay, so www.tiny, Tiny URL / revive love, REVIVE Is that right?
Revive Love.
Yeah. Okay. If anything happens with this link, because I'm trying to memorize it, okay, just tell me, and I'm going to check it. Like, if you give me a second, I can check it now on my computer. Yeah. So it's tinyurl.com / revive love. tinyurl.com / revive love. Yeah. You can choose the time that you are in, and we can do that and see what happens afterwards.
How exciting. Okay, so everybody, take advantage of that, all right? I'm always surprised that people are like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, what? Come on. You need to know Jasmine anyway. So get a hold of her and take her a little session, because it'll change your life. I mean, why wouldn't you want to?
What are you going to lose?
That's my point, right?
Yeah. Take it. Take it. Just take it. It's my gift of love for all of you. No. And you never know what happens. You can throw it away afterwards.
Okay, everyone. I am so excited that you were here today. And like I said, I was going to give you a special offer. So if you haven't been to the website, you need to join Public Speakers with an S Association.com. You can join Yasmin as one of the members. You get to connect and really grow yourself and learn from fabulous people like Yasmin, myself, and all these other amazing people that will help you propel yourself. If you're already a speaker, we're just constantly sending out speaking opportunities, so take advantage of it. And here's the offer. You can have $50 off of your initial first visit. So put down 50 off Tonya. All right. And then in the coupon code, and just take $50 off when you sign up. So I want to thank y'all for coming today. Thank you, Yasmin. It was such a pleasure. I want to have you come back on my show really soon.
Yep, please, Tonya. I enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed everybody here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hosting, and looking forward to our new one.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your day, your week, your month. Make it the year. Don't stop. Be moving forward. Take action. Have fun and smile the whole time. Bye.